It was an age before recorded history when a few tribespeople decided to leave the caves and set out for greener pastures. A few families went out together to go and find a new start, a new village. What would they find? Would they find food? Would they find warmth and shelter? Only time will tell. This is the story of the Yennas tribe. The tribe knew they had to find a place with lots of food and water. So they migrated to a place that had 3 rivers. The journey took them a while, but at least they had food and some materials to get there. The tribe finally made it. They had to travel through the night, but they finally made it to the area. Now the decision were, where would they start the new village? It would be smart to start close to where the 3 rivers combine, because they would be able to catch more fish. But was there enough resources? This area seemed to have a lot of food, and the 3 rivers are close by. Also, there were a lot of flat terrain, so this could be a perfect place. Across the river, there were a lot of food as well, but the area were not that flat, which would make building their houses very difficult. The area at the other side of the river was kind of flat, and there were a lot of branches, rocks, and trunks around, so it would also make building their houses a little bit difficult. So they decided on the flat area close to where the 3 rivers combined. The first thing that the tribe needed was warmth, so they decided to build a fire. The fire would be the center of their village. So they picked a spot, they put it down, and they were going to have to collect all the materials needed to build the fire. So for that, the tribe decided to make a few groups. The first group was a crafting group, because they are going to need some tools. A fishing group to start fishing as soon as they can. And then a few gathering groups. One will be builders, one will be food, and the other one will collect raw materials. And then of course, a hunting group. The tribe had a few men, a few women, and a few children. So now they had to decide how many people will go into each group. So the crafting, they decided 2 people will go into crafting. They don't have the tools to do fishing, and fishing by hand would not be that effective. So they decided to put some people on food, about 4 of them, to start collecting rose hips, which they had very close to them. They also named their groups so that the people knew where they will fit in. They made a food group, a raw group. The raw group will be the guys that collects the materials that they need. And then their building group. These people will sort out the village and make sure that everything in the village runs smoothly. They put 3 people in the building. For now, 3 people in the raw group. So now they needed a place to store the materials that they gather. So they knew they had to make storage areas. So the village people decided to make a few storage areas. Not too far from the village, but also not close. So in the storage areas, they thought, what would they need? They would definitely need some plant fiber to make ropes and buildings later on. They also would need some stone and definitely sticks. And they realized to build the other buildings, they will also need straw and reeds for later on. They also decided to make a place for bones that they will collect, and then the important thing that they need was for fine raw stone. So they had to add another stockpile to their group. One specifically for the fine raw stone. So now that they had that, they had to start working. So the tribe started off their daily routine that they would have for a while. They also decided that everybody needed to work. Everybody needed to pull their weight, or else the tribe would struggle to survive. So the spot were taken and they were ready to start. The tribe's people started doing their jobs. There was still a few more places. They took away hunting as well, because they still needed the tools. So they decided to add a few more people to the collecting groups, which they decided will collect sticks, and the building guys, while they cannot build, decided to help and get some stone for them. While the tribe were waiting, they realized that they forgot to add a place for the food. So they had to add another stockpile, one to store their food, up until they can get a better place to protect it. So everybody started doing their part. There were still a few people that could help out. So they went and they helped. The food people got one person extra. There were still three people that could help, but two of them would be craftsmen. So there was one extra that they also added to the raw guys. Here you can see the tribe gathering and storing the materials as they get it. Food was very important. At that, finally, they got some food. Some of the food that they brought with them was still left, but they really needed a new food source, and they were successful in getting some food. One of the first steps that they needed to get a new village working. Everybody did their part. Men, women, children, and the elderly. They started gathering fruits, stones, and sticks. Soon the builders will start building the fire. Itzar 26 started getting everything ready for the fire. She was very charismatic. Her fitness levels were excellent. Intelligence, she was a very smart lady. Her skill, that was a problem with Itzar. But her will was very, very good. She was also a little bit clumsy. So let's see what she brings to the tribe. Still, Itzar very slowly started building their fire, which is the first thing the tribe would need was warmth and a place to heat or warm or cook their food as soon as they get fish or hunting. They did try fishing, but they did realize that that did not work for now. The stocks were getting very, very good. There was definitely enough rocks and sticks to start their fire. They had a lot of stone and a lot of sticks. So the building guys decided that the next day they will not collect anymore. They will start building and building only. After their long travel, the first night, everybody were glad that they did not need to travel again. They had a lot of food, at least, so their stomachs would be full. At least they caught some fish, even though it was by hand. But the energy that it took without tools were a waste. So they decided to do fruit only for now. The crafting people could not start yet. They needed some plant fiber, which the raw guys would start collecting the next day. So that the craftspeople can start creating some rope, which they will need to build shelters later on. Here you can see the tribe just chilling after a long day of work and a lot of traveling that they did to get to this place. Some people were loners and sat very far from the tribe, but soon they will all be one tribe. People are slowly getting sleepy. Some people are still eating. Soon they will start to sleep. The night fell and they all went to sleep. Day 2 of the new village. Let's see what it brings. Some people went for the fish to get some protein. Very early. Sleeping under the stars. Hopefully they could get some huts up before winter. And will they be able to survive their first winter in their new area? Let's see what the tribes they hold. Slowly everybody is waking up. Some people still chilling and sleeping, discussing their day and what they have to do. Will the tribe survive the winter? That would be the big question on all of their minds while they just started and slept underneath the stars. Let's see how some of the tribe's people are. Here we have Urko, 26. He was also very charismatic. He had very good fitness, very intelligent. His skills were not that good. His will were great. He was also clumsy. Itzar, I believe we already spoke about. We have Andan, 30. He's very charismatic, very good fitness, very intelligent man, very skilled, and he had a very good will. He was very determined, smart, so the tribe had the skills and they had the will. Let's see if they can get the fire finished for the next night. Argi started very early with getting things ready for the fire. She was very charismatic, had very good skill, very good intelligence, and a good will. She was very skillful. Let's see how she builds the fire. Carrying rocks to the fireplace. Some of the stockpiles was still empty and waiting for new materials. Some they will only get when they add tools. Slowly but surely the fireplace started to form. Some people were just chilling and not helping. A lot of food were getting gathered by the people. carrying in their baskets with them. The area seems to be very good for them. A lot of food everywhere. Some of the tribe's people started gathering plant fiber, which would also be very easy as soon as they had some tools. Food were definitely not a problem in this area. As the plant fiber started coming in, the crafting people would soon start crafting some ropes. Here you can see someone crafting ropes. Nekaya 27. She was very unfriendly and clumsy, but she was one of the main people in the tribe. Would the rocks be enough for the fire? They decided to send some more people to go and collect a few more rocks. With the building guys not all of them working, they also decided to go and start looking for some fine raw stone. The first rains fell in their new land. Another night without warmth. The tribe was slowly getting very impatient and angry. They needed fire and they needed shelter. The second night fell. The people had to sleep outside. Another night without fire. Day 2 in their new area. The tribe slowly started their day. The fire was slowly getting ready. Soon the tribe would have the warmth that they sorely needed. And fire. Everybody's moods have changed. The fire were there. Tonight they will chat and tell stories of their travels to the children and share it with everybody. Here you can see more ropes being created by Nekaya 27 and Urko 26. So the next thing the tribe needed was some shelter. So they decided with the pelt that they brought with them, or the rawhide, that they will build their first house. A pelt hut. They picked an area where they could put the pelt hut, and they started to gather. They needed their craftsmen to create a few sticks for them, a few fine sticks. They finally got some fine raw stone, which they will soon change into tools. They slowly started preparing the area where they wanted to build the new hut. Here you could also see the tribe members, one making rope and one making the fine sticks. The rain fell down on them once again. They needed to keep the fire running up until night. They decided to let the raw guys collect some straw for their next houses that will soon start. Sticks and plant fiber were good enough for now. Here you can see that people are slowly gathering around the fire, sharing stories, sharing ideas, and just socializing. The tribe were very happy that they at least this night had fire. At least tonight there will be warmth. All of the tribe's moods were a little bit better. They had food and they had warmth. The only thing the tribe still needed was shelter. Sleeping close to the fire made everybody's moods a lot better. It's the next day, and the tribe starts up early as usual. With a lot of moods better for the next day. Things were starting to look better for the Yennas tribe. A lot of them started building on the new hut. Women, children, everybody wanted to do their part. Slowly, the hut started to form. Maybe tonight, some people will have shelter. Their stockpiles were looking very good at this stage, enough food to last them for a few days. Slowly but surely, the hut started to take form. Will it be in time for some people to sleep their first night in some shelter? Another night that everybody had to sleep under the stars, but at least there was some fire. Everybody socializing and getting more and more positive with the way the village is developing. The building guys were so busy with the hut that they forgot to take care of the fire, so it would be a dark, cold night. Another day, and everybody hoping that the first hut and the fire will be done today. The material were ready, they just had to finish. Will the builders do their job today and keep the fire running and the hut, completing the hut? Let's see what the day brings for the Yennas tribe. The hut were completed first. Some people will definitely sleep warm tonight. Could see the pictures that they painted on the hut of animals that they came across in their travels. This is the end of our first episode. Let's hope that the tribe can continue building and growing. See you guys in the next episode.